welcome back to my channel. I'm Nikita Tanwani, former Miss India Andhra Pradesh, and if you are new here over here on my channel, I make videos sharing my experience and my journey, and I also share information that might help other pageant aspirants prepare for their pageants. And I also share a lot of motivational content that inspires me and can also inspire you to grow into better versions of ourselves every single day. And so if that kind of content interests you, please do hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me, and I am trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and so I would really appreciate your support on hitting that goal together. Now today I've decided to talk about a few things that I would do differently if I could participate in Miss India all over again. And this question has definitely come up to me quite a few times in the last year or so. And so I want to start off by clarifying that the things I mentioned in today's video are things that I would do differently or better if I had another chance. But in no way am I saying that doing these things would guarantee me victory or placement in the pageant, because that is not how pageants work, at least the national pageants in India. Because I've mentioned this quite a few times on my channel already, is that pageants do not have a scoreboard. There is this preconceived notion in a lot of aspirants that there is a certain scoreboard, and I keep saying this, that your strength in a certain aspect of pageantry cannot compensate for your weakness in another, because it's not a score-wise judgment, it's an overall judgment. And the second thing is that pageants are always looking for a new face, a new type of personality, a fresh perspective to bring to their organization. And so there's no cookie cutter model that you can fit into and guarantee placement and victory in a pageant. And I speak about this in a lot more detail in my personal training workshops and sessions. And on that front, I have something super exciting coming out for you guys early next year. And so do go follow me on my Instagram to stay tuned for that announcement. I cannot wait to share that with you guys. I'm very sure you guys are gonna love it. Coming back to the question of what I would do differently if I could participate in Miss India again. Now the list of things that I'm about to share with you in this video are based on my own introspection, and I also spoke to a lot of people who were there every step of the way when it comes to my pageant journey, who mentored me right from the beginning till the very end, and we are constantly in touch. And so they also have a lot of knowledge and experience when it comes to pageantry. And so this is a compilation of our thoughts. And I want to reiterate here, this is what I would do differently to make a better performance and a better mark, but I am not saying that it would guarantee victory. So the number one thing that I would do differently is probably learn a performing commercial talent like dancing or singing. I'm sure a lot of my audience already knows that I cannot dance to save my life, and I cannot sing either right now, although that is something I want to learn at some point. But for the sake of the pageant, it is a televised show, and so I'm not saying that singing or dancing is mandatory to win. A lot of contestants have those questions about the talent round. No, it is not necessary to know those two particular talents. But I had, say, performed painting. That was my talent round submission. And so probably I should have made it a bit more theatrical, appropriate for a stage performance. Because in the end, your talent has to make you stand out on a screen, on a televised show. It's for the entertainment purpose of the pageant as well. And so while your talent may be really unique, but if it cannot be performed on a stage, then the organization will have to rethink whether they can allow you to perform that over there in the pageant. And this holds true for offline pageants. Now this year it's happening online, so there were videos, which makes it a lot more easier in a way. But at the same time, when it comes to the actual stage performance where the pageant is happening, the organization would definitely want someone who can perform on that stage. And so when it comes to the pageant, I'm sure it doesn't really hurt to have more on-screen time on a televised show. And so that is something that I've thought of, that learning dancing, singing, or making my current talent a bit more theatrical would have definitely helped. And so if you have a couple of talents, make very smart choices as to what will suit that type of show the best and what will get you the most limelight and the attention, because obviously that is one strategy that goes into preparing and competing in a pageant. The second thing that I would have wanted to do differently is that have a longer training period. Now, my introduction to the pageant field in general was quite late, that is at the age of 23. And so I just had the year of 2018 to prepare myself for the pageant. Whereas when you actually go to Miss India, Miss Diva or any of these pageants, there are contestants who have been preparing since the age of 16, 17, maybe even younger. It has been a lifelong dream. That wasn't the case for me, and how it made a difference right there based on my observations and hindsight introspection is that it comes a lot more naturally if you've been training for years. And so what I would do differently is that I would have wanted a longer training period. My personal experience of getting pageant coaching and grooming was the 2 weeks that I spent in Cocoberry in November of 2018, and I did go back for a revision for 1 or 2 weeks in the month of January, a month before my auditions. So that's a total of 3 to 4 weeks at a maximum. And while that was pretty enough, I did win the state title. But I think if I had been training for the last 2 years, very sure it would have made a difference in my walk, in my grace, in my confidence. And while I was able to do it, but it was still something I had just learned 3 to 4 months ago. And I'm sure it just makes sense to anyone who hears this that if you've been training for something for 5 years compared to someone who's been doing it for 3, 4 years, unless you're gifted and a prodigy, it is very rare that your performance will be a lot more natural or better than the other one. And like I said, pageants are all about strategizing. I always say this to contestants. There are girls who feel like they are ready right now, but they wait for a year or two to groom themselves a little bit more. And when you go to a pageant, the organization does remember some contestants. And so you have to make the first impression the best impression. Because if you go back stronger, there is a possibility that they remember you from your weaker performance year. And so they will be comparing you to that performance, how much she has grown. Instead of that, if you just went when you are most ready at your best version of yourself, and then you create that really bang entry. So that could be your strategy, that you enter the pageant when you are the best version of yourself and you just blow away the judge's mind with your performance. So to summarize, yes, I wish I could have started my journey sooner. Maybe I could have gotten introduced to this field sooner, but I had my other reasons. And if possible, if I had 1 or 2 more shots at the pageant, maybe I would have gone back and performed better. The third thing that I would do differently in hindsight is start my wardrobe preparation a lot more sooner. Now, as I said, I was pretty new to pageants and everything was happening really quickly. But I know other contestants who had been preparing their outfits and looks, and all of that preparation had been going on in the background for over a year sometimes. And how that helps is, one, if you shop a lot, all of a sudden, sometimes you're not really there when there are sales and you don't get the best offer. So in a way, if I had started planning sooner, maybe I could have thrifted some outfits, maybe I could have gotten things on discount if I had planned right, and so I could have saved some money. So I always say the sooner you start preparing, the better. If you have your mindset that you are going to enter a pageant at this age, in this year, at that moment, have all that preparation going on as soon as possible, because there are so many things to take care of in a pageant. And so if there is anything that you can plan in advance, do that. It will save you a lot of time and in some cases even money if you start sooner. So that is one thing I would do differently. And also when it comes to the styling part of it. So now what happens is, we did buy a lot of outfits, but it also matters as to, did you just wear the dress just like that? Or did you style it? How creative were you in your styling? And so while I am pretty satisfied with my lookbook and my styling and my outfits throughout my pageant journey, but I do think there is room for improvement. There always is. And so if I had more time, then I would have given a lot more thought and a lot more time into planning my looks even better. Number 4 on my list is my social media. And I am pretty happy with my social media presence and performance throughout the pageant and even outside the pageant journey. But one of the feedbacks that I had received, and I have mentioned this in my video where I talk about how to use social media to your advantage in a pageant. If you haven't watched that video, I will link it over here, so please go watch it if you're interested. And the feedback that I had received was that my social media was revolving around my pageant experience, my pageant journey. But there are other things also, such as Mental Health Awareness Day, Earth Day, Water Day. These are very tiny details, but the organization seemed to have noticed this. And again, I'm not sure if it would have made a difference, but I did receive this feedback and I thought it was very insightful and helpful, and I want to share it with other contestants as well, so that just in case, it's just better to be safe than sorry. And so make sure that your social media, as a public figure, you are also addressing a lot of other important things outside of the pageant. And I think just as a person, as someone at any level of pageants or at any level of platform that you are on, if you are a social media person and figure and people look up to you, then it just makes you a lot more responsible and that you should be talking about certain things. A quick note here, if you are watching this video on a laptop or on your phone, please do take a picture or a screenshot and post it on your stories, and don't forget to tag me. I would love to repost your stories. It makes me so happy to see my audience watching my videos, also helps me share my content to a larger audience, and it will help me grow my channel a lot quicker. So thank you so much in advance for your support and appreciation. Now the last thing that I would have done differently, and actually two things. One of them is going to sound really cliche, and that is that I had more fun. And this is very important. I think a lot of pageant contestants will say this. It is so important to enjoy the journey, make the most of it, make friends, make memories, have a lot of fun, and worry less about the end result, because you cannot control all the factors that go into deciding the result. You just cannot. And so what you can do is just make the most of that time. It is a beautiful and transformative journey to go through. And so just be grateful that you are there, you have made it. There are so many girls who are vying to be where you are. And just be grateful and enjoy it. And smile a lot, guys. It sounds cliche and maybe funny, but just keep smiling throughout the pageant. Whoever you meet, whoever you talk to, just give out warm, positive vibes. And I'm not saying that I wasn't doing that, but I'll come to why I think smiling more came to my mind. And that is because I think I should have rehearsed my reactions to when they announce my name in case I win. And so this happened to me at both the state level auditions as well as when I won the state level crown and title of Andhra Pradesh, is that I was so stunned when they announced my name, is that I forgot to smile and react like I would have wanted to, because it is being recorded and it's just there on the internet forever. And so this is just something I thought I would do differently. Again, it has nothing to do with the result, but just that I thought that maybe I should have mentally prepared myself as to if they announce my name, how am I gonna react? And whenever I look back at my videos, it's just something that I think, really, Nikita, you couldn't even smile. You were just so in shock. And so I thought that was a funny insight that I just thought I should share with you. In case you do win, make sure to smile. Don't just go blank and just be shocked. Maybe don't do that. And so this is the list of things that I would do differently if I had another shot at Miss India. And I hope you guys found this video insightful and interesting. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Go follow me on my Instagram because there is a big announcement coming up very, very soon. And please do let me know your thoughts about this video in the comment section below. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye-bye.